Hello, Home Slices. It's Kiara with Home Slice Adulting yet again, giving you guys as many videos as I possibly can today because I have a new job and it is a Monday through Friday job. I cannot remember the last time I actually had a Monday through Friday job. The job that I had previously, at the most, I worked 3 days in a row and then had like 2 days off after that. So working 5 days in a row is a little bit of an adjustment. So I'm still trying to figure out how YouTube works into my brand new schedule. But for the time being, I'm going to be playing catch up, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. So we are back for the mid-season return of Iyanla Fix My Life, featuring Neffy and Shelby yet again. They have returned. And before we get started, I want to say thank you for clicking on this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I post new content, okay? I want to apologize again for how late this video is. Like I said, getting a new job last week and figuring out how YouTube is going to fit into my new schedule, and the fact that in about 3 weeks, I'm going to be starting the evening MBA program at the University of Washington. Trying to figure out time management and everything is going to become very crucial. So please be patient with me as I play catch up and, just try to figure everything out. Now, because my schedule has become kind of new, a lot of the new shows that have come back on after mid-season breaks have not been on my radar, and that includes Iyanla Fix My Life and Braxton Family Values. So for any of you who are interested, I did do a review for it's my dog. Hey, Bo. Hey. Over here being nosy. I did do a review for Braxton Family Values, and I just posted it recently, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. But let's get down to it. So earlier in this season, before the preseason break, we saw what a mess Neffy and Shelby's relationship was. They had so much baggage and so much drama that they brought into a marriage and, affected their family. I did a review on that episode, and you're free to check it out if you have any spare time. Now, off rip, I find their return to Iyanla Fix My Life to be very suspicious. The first time around, Neffy did come off very much so as if this was a type of publicity stunt. Especially with her, thanking her glam squad and showing up 3 hours late for taping and that type of thing. And immediately my thoughts are this is the second time that they are coming back for a publicity stunt. For me, I would imagine that the attention that they received from the first episode was just their first taste at it, and they wanted another taste, and apparently things have not improved. But moving on, Neffy says that she's back because she did not get what she wanted to get out of, the whole healing situation last time. And Shelby is over being sad. Neffy is so upset and crying that her makeup is running all down her face because they don't really have a marriage anymore. They're not happy with each other. So we see Iyanla sit down with Neffy, and Neffy feels that she gave Shelby too much power, okay? And she's here to take it back. But Neffy's not really doing what she's supposed to do to be engaged in the healing process. First off, she didn't finish the homework that Iyanla gave her. She claims that because of an incident that happened the night before, she was not able to finish it. Neffy says, and this is in reference, this next part is in reference to what Iyanla told her during the last episode. She gave them both homework to do to help them engage in the healing process a little bit better. So, Neffy said that as a part of that homework, she went to counseling, but she stopped going after about 5 months because her insurance would no longer cover it. Iyanla had given her a free scholarship, basically, to Iyanla's women's workshop, women's something workshop. And Neffy did not attend the women's workshop. Neffy begins crying, and she says she's tired of lying to herself about what her reality truly is. Now, Iyanla Van Zandt recalls that the last time that they were together, there was a big breakdown between Iyanla and Neffy because Neffy was 3 hours late. This time around, Neffy was 45 minutes late, which is an indication to Iyanla that Neffy has not really changed. Neffy doesn't even really have a good excuse for it, and Iyanla Van Zant, wouldn't accept any excuses even if she did. Neffy said that she did not stay at the hotel because she left her belongings at home. And Iyanla had to ask her, like, how old are you? Like, that you forget to grab your bags on the way out. Just kind of, it didn't make sense to me either. So apparently when she went home to retrieve her bags, she and Shelby got into an argument because Neffy is in communication with some guy who makes her feel so good that she wants to suck his pee-pee. Iyanla Van Zant is just shocked, okay? Like, what makes you think that you can say in the presence of your husband that a guy is giving you so much attention over the phone that you want to have sex with him or oral sex with him outside of your marital bed? And Neffy says, we don't have a marital bed. There's no love, no affection, and she doesn't feel as if she is married anymore. Now, Iyanla Van Zant thinks that Neffy just has a lack of commitment to save her marriage, and I think we can all say that. I think everyone has experienced problems with commitment. We make goals, we set goals, and we have a hard time achieving those goals. So I can't come down too hard on Neffy for not having the willpower to actually follow through on, trying to improve her life and trying to improve her marriage. It's just sometimes with certain things, we have difficulties following through. So Neffy talks about her diagnosis that when she was getting, treatment and counseling, they actually did some type of, test on her to see where she was and what type of issue she was having. And she said that she was, had a dual diagnosis of being, depressed and a self-medicating bipolar person. Well, Neffy refused medication for her disorder because she feels as if she wants guidance as opposed to medication that makes her feel like a walking zombie, as she put it. Now, Iyanla said, well, I gave you guidance last time and you didn't take it. So you're not taking medication. You're not taking the instruction that Iyanla is giving as a life coach. You basically don't want to get better. And that's the lack of commitment, essentially. Iyanla Van Zant says that Neffy's mind state was built upon trauma and instability, and that it's going to take more than just guidance to actually get her to function normally. And Iyanla believes in the use of medication to help treat people who have mental health issues. I do believe that medication can help. I do believe that in some cases people can be overly medicated. It's just the point of getting the right help that's for you. But Iyanla looks great. Does anybody else see that she kind of lost weight or something? I think Iyanla looks very good, okay? Now, moving on, we see Iyanla Van Zant talking to Shelby. Apparently, Shelby developed an ulcer, and we all know that ulcers are caused by stress. Shelby said he almost died, and that after they went home, after the last time they were on Fix My Life, and nothing really changed. Shelby tells her about the situation where, the previous night, he overheard Neffy talking about sucking somebody else's pee-pee, and he talks about how he was mad about that and how they got into an argument and how he's making preparations to leave, but then he wants to be there for his children and he wants to make sure that they're not out on the street, so he's paying the rent. And Iyanla wants to know, why were you so upset and why did you get into an argument with Neffy if you claim that you were so over this marriage that it basically does not exist anymore except on paper? For a person who says that they're over something, you really did get into an argument with her about there being some other man that she might want to become sexually involved with. And he, blames it on his manly pride, manly ego, whatever you want to call it, and says that, she can do whatever she wants, but she can't do it in my face, whatever that means. Anyways, I agree with Iyanla that if he really was over it, if he really was past it, that it wouldn't bother him for her to say something like that if he was really only staying there for the kids. But clearly he cares more than he claims. Then here comes Neffy. She's been eavesdropping from upstairs, and she says that she's ready to leave because Shelby is a liar and that she doesn't have to deal with it. And I'm like, he wasn't talking to you. He was talking to Iyanla Vanzant about his experience regarding what happened the previous night. So Shelby makes things worse. Iyanla is trying to, calm everything down and is telling Neffy, go upstairs and do your homework, like she's 14 years old or something. Go upstairs and do your homework and worry about you. Mind your business and allow Shelby to talk to me the same way that you talk to me for 2 hours, right? So Shelby makes things worse by calling Neffy Massa and saying that he isn't her slave anymore and that he's free now. And so Iyanla Vanzant thinks that he went from being this very silent, depressed man that we saw last time to a man who vocalizes to the point where it might be destructive to him. And I agree. So we have Iyanla Vanzant take Neffy aside, asking her, where's your homework? Okay, you need to be doing your homework and focusing on you. And that's the issue that they have in their relationship. I don't recall this 100%, but their initial relationship was very dramatic off rip. I think Neffy was already pregnant with some other guy's baby when they started dating, and maybe she was living with him too or something along those lines. That being said, their relationship has been drama the entire time, and they have not had enough time to work on their own individual selves before bringing all of their individual problems into a collective marriage. And so, unfortunately, they have this laser focus on what the other person is doing as opposed to having laser focus on themselves. So, moving on. Let me see. Now, what's interesting is that when Shelby tells the story about the sucking the pee-pee comment, and then when Neffy tells the story, I don't see a huge difference in the way they tell that story. I don't understand why Neffy got so mad and called him a liar when their version of events is almost the same. I thought that was very weird. And Iyanla just thinks that this is a manifestation of her bipolarism, and it may be. Now, moving on, we see Iyanla Vanzant talking to Shelby. She asks him what he meant by that Massa comment, and essentially he's saying that he's not under her power or under her control anymore, that he's found his voice, and that she can no longer frame what his experience is for him. Or tell him, what to say. He says that he's here with Iyanla to learn how to leave. And Iyanla says that he's not wrestling with Neffy. The things that he has going on in his life, the reason why he's upset, the reason why his life is not going in the appropriate direction is not because of Neffy. It's because he's wrestling with the powers and principalities in his own mind. Okay, and that's clearly true. Okay. He says he don't even want to look her in the eyes, and she takes that as disrespect. She says that there's a difference between coming on this show when you are ready and willing to be helped versus prostituting your pain, basically putting on a show. Because Neffy and Shelby clearly are not ready to actually work on their issues together, to actually put forth the effort, she feels as if this episode is a prostitution of their pain because they're not getting anywhere. They're not doing the things that they came to accomplish. And I totally get that. And she does not want to be a part of a pretend healing situation. We come here pretending that we're ready, to heal and to move forward and to strengthen our marriage or to end it appropriately. And we're not ready to do that. We don't have the level of commitment that we need to actually achieve that. So Iyanla says she don't want to do that. She does not want to prostitute their pain. She does not accept that Massa comment from Shelby because it is inappropriate. And she does not accept Neffy being disrespectful to a black man and cursing him out when he's paying her bills and all of that. And so Iyanla is just kind of done with it. Okay. She's over it. She can't even get out the door good, and she leaves for the day. And so Iyanla comes back the next day, and after doing some reflection, she kind of calms down and helps them with the next steps. And she says that she cannot coach Neffy if her mental health issues are controlling Neffy's actions. And until Neffy can get control of her mental health issues, she's not going to be ready to take the steps it takes to actually heal. And that Neffy needs to worry about herself, and I agree. And then she talks to Shelby and has a similar conversation and says that he's out of order and she can't help him until he gets in order. I think that he just like Iyanla said, I think that he just went from one extreme, from being quiet, from being silent, from letting things happen to him, to vocalizing to the point where it's stressing him out and basically is trying to kill him with the ulcers. Now, she said that she's not going to leave him hanging, that she's going to get him some help. But all in all, Iyanla Vanzant has kind of thrown in the towel because they're just not ready. Moving on, Iyanla finally talks to them both together, and she does an exercise with dirt and water and is basically saying that each of them has to worry about what's in their own cup because they have pointed together in a bowl, and it's water, it's dirt, and their children are living in that, and that they have to worry about themselves. And they come to the conclusion that the marriage is basically over. They apologize to each other for what's going on in their lives, things that they have done to each other, and it comes off as very sincere. Now, at the end of basically every Iyanla Vanzant episode, there is a little update that they put at the end, and this is probably the first time that I can remember that the little, blurbs at the end that tell you how people are doing now were actually totally the opposite of each other. Shelby says that Neffy is drinking more, he moved out, and they're finally getting a divorce. Neffy says that she's not drinking anymore, that she's going back to school, that she's using the tools that Iyanla Vanzant gave her, that Shelby still lives with her, and Shelby won't sign the papers. There's no way that you can get more starkly, different on what's going on in their lives. It's the total opposite, and we have no idea who to believe, okay? Part of me wants to believe Shelby, because his explanation for what's going on now was not as lofty or, what we want to hear as Neffy's was about her not drinking and going back to school. But they could both be, I don't know. There's no way that both of those situations are happening at the same time. Shelby can't be refusing to sign the papers and getting divorced. Neffy cannot be not drinking and drinking more. Who knows what to believe? These are people who really do need to get it together. And Iyanla can acknowledge that she's not ready to help them because they're not ready to receive help. My hope is that we never see them on the show again. My hope is that they break up and that I would like for them to do it amicably, but having a bad breakup with somebody that is toxic to you is better than having a bad breakup with somebody who is toxic to you is better than staying in a toxic relationship. So if it takes them having a bad breakup for them to get out of each other's lives and finally start working on themselves, then let them have a bad breakup, okay? I hope we never see them on Iyanla Fix My Life again. I hope that they can get it together. There are just some people who don't. I can acknowledge that, but that doesn't mean that I wish that on them. So this has been my review for the return episode of Neffy and Shelby, okay? Thank you guys for watching. I love Iyanla Fix My Life. I do plan on reviewing the episode that came on just this past Saturday, which was yesterday. And thank you guys for watching. I have to spend some time talking to family members, calling my family. I recently moved very far away from all of my family, so I have to make sure that I keep in touch. So thank you guys for watching. Peace out, home slices.